Attention, please.
Yo. 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 Yo.
Welcome to your Inspirational Astrology Horoscope for Thursday, February 27th, 2025. I'm Astrologer Dave Palmer, the Leo King, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. Well, thanks so much for being a part of HighVibe.tv. If you are not a part of HighVibe.tv, I would definitely be a member now to get all the shows, all the daily horoscopes, all the weekly horoscopes, of course, the famous deep astrology I've been doing for so long. Where you're not going to get astrology like this anywhere else. Definitely check it out, highvibe.tv, or on the app stores, HighVibe TV. And we don't have one of those little stupid, like cheesy apps. It's the real deal with our own social media network and the highest quality app there is, literally. It's good to be with you all, though, for this new moon. I do show up here on YouTube for some other shows, but of course, to give you those little dips and tastes of what I do every day on the new and the full moons. And so this new moon, of course, that we're going to have in Pisces is definitely a good reminder of why I'm here, because this is definitely one of the more intense new moons we've ever seen, literally, because it's really about the biggest goodbye ever to the world we always thought we knew. It's over, and so we're in the middle of goodbyes. We're definitely deep into the swamp. It's Pisces, and you know we're at the marker point of a weird time. We're in between a Mars that just stationed direct and a Venus that stations retrograde on March 1st, just 2 days after this new moon. Not even 2 days. But you know, this report I'm going to do right now for you, I want you to remember that not all new moons are the same, that not all full moons are the same, and that you have to look at the rarity of things. This new moon really does set us into a new chapter, and it's a chapter that's been long in all of our lives, the Neptune and Pisces transit. It's a chapter that is a little weird since the last new moon was in Aquarius after the sun finally made its conjunction to Pluto in Aquarius, meaning that we're really in the Pluto and Aquarius transit now, but that's what's going to happen for the next 19 years, whereas this brings up now the planet that's been here the longest, which is Neptune, which does rule Pisces. And boy, are we in a Pisces parade. The last time we saw this much Pisces was back in 2013. And, you know, that was when Jupiter was in Gemini at the same time too. And so this is going to get really messy in the world and in our own lives, but it's a positive thing. So we're going to go into the chart, but I just want to talk really quick just about that messiness. That messiness is letting go of every spiritual attachment, because you have to look at it as you've already lived those stories, dreams in the past. And in order for us to really see our futures, in order for us to get through this time, because it's much more about getting through things. It's not about jumping over things. It's not about getting around things. It's about going through. But we have to remember that this messy time, it's truly, the mess is when everything gets backed up. And so we have to look at Pisces, especially, it's the same as the 12th house in many ways. It's the house of endings. And I know that, you know, so many people attach Scorpio with endings. That's transformation, that's mutation in a way. It definitely has a much more fixed position, and it's the kind of more focused on one particular thing at a time emotionally that can come to an end, or at least there's always a transformation on the other side. The actual house that deals with endings completely, toxicity levels that reach their peak, subconscious and self-undoing that becomes at its peak, that creates an end and a destruction to things, is Pisces. The positive is that, you come out the other side renewed and cleared out and ready for the new chapters in Aries. And, we are now about exactly a month away after this new moon for Neptune to come into Aries for the first time since going back to 1862 was when it finally made its full ingress into Aries, but it did the day after the Civil War started. So we have to remember we're coming into this new moon, but the next new moon that will be a solar eclipse in Aries that will be with Neptune coming to 0 degrees Aries. And I don't know if y'all remember, but the last time we saw an outer planet come to 0 Aries was Uranus. And it came in 2010, and then it was with Jupiter, and there was a Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in Aries and in Pisces. But when it came back and fully ingressed, it was Fukushima, just hours after it made its ingress. So when outer planets especially hit the 0 point, and in the times that we're in where we're more conscious of what's happening around the world, anybody out there that thinks that this next month and this new moon is about some sort of fantasy dream coming true, when this is about closing things out and endings, and it's about also at the same time remembering that we're about to get an outer planet to hit 0 Aries. The last time was Fukushima, because the last time it was an outer planet at 0 Aries, literally the last time, was Uranus. And it was Fukushima. Now that's Uranus. This is Neptune. The last time we saw Neptune at 0 Aries was the Civil War in America. And I will say, I just did a History in the Stars with Dr. Ann Wolke here, and you can watch it here on YouTube. We went through a lot of history and a lot of the parallels that are happening right now in our world to the last time that we were in the last month of Neptune and Pisces. And Neptune and Pisces is important because Neptune does rule Pisces. And we have a lot happening in Pisces that's going to be happening too, especially this Venus retrograde that's going to happen on March 1st in Aries. And last time we saw that, of course, was back in 2017 around this time, and it was at 13 degrees. This one's at 10 degrees, but it's going to retrograde back into Pisces with the North Node there. It's going to retrograde in Pisces with Mercury. And we're going to see that Mercury, Venus, and all that be at the last degree of degrees and minutes and even seconds of Pisces. And then come into Aries with Neptune, and then have all those planets that are retrograde come back over and cross over Neptune while it's in Aries. So we're really getting the biggest, extreme rub on this very last degree of Pisces and the very beginning of Aries. And so I think that this new moon is a reminder that the subconscious idea of what the way the world is, that the life you think would always be, it's the realization that no, that pattern is coming to an end, and a lot of endings are happening. And what falls apart in your life during this new moon is part of a new moon, right? In order for things to go into a new direction and so forth, it's about watching things end. So the things that are not spiritually aligned in your life are going to end. And so you can't have emotional attachment to a lot of these things. And this is extremely sensitive energy. This is a butt ton of Pisces. So, for example, this new moon happening at 9 degrees and 40 minutes of Pisces. It's going to be in a very interesting angle. It's a square to Jupiter in Gemini. And what's weird is Jupiter is the co-ruler of Pisces. So you not only have Neptune, the ruler of Pisces, which we've seen since 2011 into 2012. And so this is what's weird is like the next new moon's a solar eclipse. And right after that solar eclipse, Neptune comes in Aries. So if you really think about it, especially since 2012, when Neptune came back into Pisces and said, all right, I'm staying here. I mean, that's 13 years ago. Add another year of the parts of 2011, and then the last parts of Neptune that'll be in Pisces after it retrogrades back this fall. This is us understanding we're at the end of Neptune Pisces. Because next year, the new moon in Pisces will be Saturn, Neptune already will have met. Right? So like that's going to be in Aries. So you have to remember that this is the last new moon of Neptune Pisces. All right? because full stop next year, February 2026, as we're exiting Aquarius and coming into Pisces, that Saturn Neptune meet, and we're in Aries, and it's not the same, and it's not going to be this Pisces crazy, sensitive world we've lived in. And so this is a big reminder that with Saturn in Pisces, we haven't seen Saturn here since going back all the way to 1995 and 96. We have Mercury that's getting close to where it's going to come into its pre-shadow. It's coming very close. The North Node happens to be right around that 26 degree mark where Mercury is going to retrograde back to. So also this new moon, all planets are direct, but they've only been direct since Mars came direct on Sunday evening, right? And then we have on Saturday, Venus retrograding. So all planets are direct, but it's not the traditional way because that Venus has stopped. Mars has stopped, but is finally direct, but hasn't moved in weeks at 17 degrees. So if you look at the speed of Venus and Mars during this new moon are about to switch, where Mars will be faster than Venus. They're only going, Mars here, 2 minutes and 52 seconds, which is increasing. And then Venus, which is decreasing in speed, 4 minutes and 47 seconds. Look at Jupiter doing 4 minutes and 34 seconds, the same speed as Venus. And then Mars is about to get to that speed. So we're going to watch these three planets balance out in the whole day of this new moon. This is really odd and weird. These are the two benefics with Mars and malefic, and the malefic is going to overtake both of those. And so this Jupiter square is really odd because we have to let go of so much of the visualizations and these dreams the way that we thought they were going to be, because let's be real, any dream that you had should have already come to fruition. And I just did say that. Every dream that you had should have already come to fruition. If it hasn't yet, it's time to let it go. There are new facts. There's a whole new way to look at things. And so this Jupiter square is, can you get over your own addiction to your own kind of hyper belief system that you actually think that some crazy dream is going to come true? With Saturn here, it's a big reminder. Only the dreams that actually will come together, and they're already in motion, or already you're able to see them coming together. This is not the time to try and have the pipe dream. I'm calling this the new moon pipe dream. Or a better way, I should call it the pipe bomb exploding in your webbed feet of a fish that you are. The reason why I say that is because we're no longer at a point to where you just keep trying to do the thing that's not happening. This is where surrender happens. And so this has been about gains with Pluto Capricorn for the 16 years prior to this. Now with Pluto in Aquarius, does it need fixing, or do you need to try a new way? It's always going to come to you have to try a new way. So when it comes to your dreams, you have to try a new way, not continue to keep doing the same thing, which is insanity. So really, this is the new moon of, where are you insane? Continuing to believe the dream that you had is going to come true? Especially with Jupiter and Gemini. And there's a big truth with this North Node here with Mercury, and Mercury getting ready to come into shadow. Venus ready to retrograde in Aries. This is a different Venus retrograde. The last Venus retrograde in Aries 8 years ago was with Mars and Uranus in Aries. This is with Chiron. So it meant that, it looks like it's all good with Venus in Aries that last time. But Venus is at detriment. Mars is at fall. Right? The Jupiter's at detriment. These are very low-end energies. Mercury's in fall as well. So this is not about triumph. This is not about glory. This is about seeing what you already had in the accomplishment of your dreams, and the stuff that didn't happen, letting it go so you can see something bigger and be honest and to actually be curious about new things. It's almost kind of like taking, well, that didn't happen or that dream didn't come, but why? We have to ask questions. We're in a deep fog. This is a shit ton of Pisces. And then if you go from Pluto all the way to where this Venus is, this is a lot of planets in one zone. And it's really all at the end of the zodiac with just this Venus that's trying to lead the way, but she's going to retrograde. And so we can't be led by also the tangible aspect of Venus, like the dreams of some relationship, the dreams of some money, the dreams of this is where it's like, it's going to get so messy because people are too addicted to the untruths, right? Like the universe is saying what was, and if you have it, you can build on top of that. That's Uranus and Taurus. But, trying to build something out of nothing right now ain't going to happen. There is no, pulling a white rabbit out of a hat. That's not magic. This is divine magic, which means when do you know to end things? And it's not about the actual taking action of ending. It's allowing the universe that's already pulling things out of your life that aren't for you and just surrendering and being like, okay. So I'm calling this also the new moon of the writing on the wall. The writing's on the wall. So, there's an old movie from, I think it was late 50s, but early 60s, but it's just called The Haunting. Yeah, it's the Hill House one, not the Haunting of Hill House one from the 50s. The Haunting. It's better. But in that one, the chalk that's writing on the walls, this is a crazy house and all that stuff, and you're just going to sit in this fucking house? Are you crazy? Like, this is kind of where, instead of like, oh, I need to run out, it's like, why did you go in? Or why are you still trying to believe that, oh, this house is okay? This is about understanding now that this Mars that's just come direct in Cancer, we have to take care of ourselves way better. And that starts with the ego that is not aligned with anything anymore that it wants. The ego's death is difficult. And this is where it's also the soul's attachment that has the same thing. Just because ego in Aries is bad right now with Chiron in Aries, a Venus that's going to retrograde, Mars in Cancer that's squaring that Chiron. I mean, like, it's not just ego. People have to realize that there are spiritual parts of ourselves that are also way too attached to things. Glamorize things. And this is where, believe it or not, Pisces is where you can create spiritual idols that are illusionary. Stop looking at yourself like you're something that you're really not. Stop projecting on top of yourself and especially on others. There is no shiny object out there that is going to make you feel better with this Venus and Chiron and Venus about to station retrograde right after this new moon. This is going to be the worst time to ever enter into a new romantic relationship. If you're somebody that's trying to enter into a new one right now, retarded. Like psychotic. Worst past life situation you've ever got yourself into. You really want to go down that road? So the big question is, what else is out there that I haven't seen? And it's not about a shiny object. It's inside of yourself. So it's about clearing out what is a dream that honestly is a dream on top of a dream on top of a dream. You've already been walking on this dream. In order for us to get to the next dreams, we have to let go. That's what Pisces is about. To see the next layer, to see wider, you have to let go. So that's why the world, you're going to see a bunch of things end. And it's about not being attached to them. That's what Pluto and Aquarius is teaching you, is learning detachment. Now, that's why Pluto hates Aquarius, right? Pluto hates Aquarius because it's the air and it's all about connecting higher and understanding higher. But Pluto wants to be in Hades and emotionally hold on to it forever. And Aquarius wants to disrupt and let go and be cold. And Pluto wants all of your emotion. And Aquarius wants zero of it. So, this is where it's like you have to learn, you can't be a sensitive little person anymore who's just like, but my dream, but this. Let it go. There's a better one out there now, because the one that you had was probably either A, the inspiration of somebody else and trying to live their dream and copycat it. It's very Pisces, right? This is where, are you a copycat soul, or are you being your true essence of your soul? That's another part of this. We need to ask questions, and the questions are deep reflection on what is no longer just there, and that's the illusion. You know, this is where we are going to be very bare and vulnerable when it comes to feeling this empty place, but it's not empty. It's more like what just you keep holding up in this very fragile state that you don't even realize it's probably fragile, right? It's kind of that subconscious part where you're the fat guy walking down the street and you really think that the hot chick wants you, and you keep believing it. And you think Ozempic's going to save it and change it? No, it's not. Because it's not about you being fat. It's the energy behind you being fat that doesn't leave just because you lost the weight. You want to be this big thing. Is it because of all of your subconscious things that you went through as a kid, and because you felt that you saw somebody else do that, so if I do that, then I'll feel that way? It's not going to happen. You're really upset about what's happening in the world and all these things that are being cut. What do you think the 12th house is about? It's about cutting things away. So you can run on your little Blue Sky app and fucking virtue signal, like, where's your blue wristband so I can get along with you? We can complain about what the astrology is doing. It's not about people. It's not about this person or this group or that. No, this is astrology. You got to get out of the illusion that, oh, this person's causing the problem. Nobody's causing a problem right now in your life, in the world, or anything. This is the process of what destiny and what's already happening. To get out of the illusion is to get out of the subconscious bullshit. All right? Neptune rules the media. I don't care if you're left or right. Let it go. They're baiting you on both sides. They're baiting you right now to be like, oh, the Epstein list is coming out, but kinda. And then the other side, this is the end of democracy, when it's really a republic. Oh my God, you'll be better with these people over here on Blue Sky with a little fucking purple, bluish fucking little butterfly. And oh, but it's really not about being just on the left. Yeah, right. You know, what we're going to see through this new moon is who is just a literal fucking fraud, because 12th house Pisces is where it reveals the fraudulent soul who is not who they really are, but is also trying to live someone else's dream, or more importantly, doesn't have the spiritual goods because they're not attached to actually doing the hard spiritual work and going through the deep shit. And already it was manifested. The hardest part about Pisces is when you reach the end is that's the end of the journey. It's like when you're a kid and you're on a ride and you're at, the end of the ride and you're like, but I didn't enjoy it. Like, can we go back up again? Well, you can get back in line and then get back, and there's other people in line, and then you just don't know. It's not like a hall pass. Like, okay, God's just going to let me go on this ride right away, right again. No, it's the end of the line. It's the end of the ride. So you got to look at it like, okay, what were the dreams that didn't happen? What were the visualizations that didn't happen? Okay, it's okay. We get a whole nother turn to get back on the roller coaster of manifestation in our dreams and in a new world, because the universe is taking it all down that is not spiritually aligned. Okay? And so this is also where you have to literally do this deep work of deprogramming yourself, especially from like what the media is telling you. And this is where the deep exploration of truth and the deep exploration of facts are going to be new curious things that aren't attached to old past Pisces, past old Pisces, right? Both are old past ways of how you're trying to do it before. It's very simple, but it's complicated for people that are really lost right now. And I never got to this. Well, again, Pisces isn't the object of desire. And what's hard is this Venus here that happens to be in Aries, about to retrograde in detriment. What's hard about this is Mars that just came direct in Cancer in square to Chiron in Aries. Okay, this is not easy at all. This is no longer like even for like really spiritual people. This is for like the highest, like people that are fully spiritual, that are willing to let go of all these little dreams that we're at the end of the show. Right? And we have to remember that this is the new moon that literally is bringing us into the eclipse season that starts in 2 weeks, where the whole world, and the South Node being here in Virgo, the whole world and everything, that the way the systems operate, and we've already seen the systems and the massive structures of it that aren't aligned start to fall. But now even reality is not going to be predictable from the humdrum, it works this way every day. No, it's going to be messy. And the way that it is good messy is where you just allow the fall of the glass. You have to look at the people that are going to be lost the most are people who are like spellbound as if they're Beast and Beauty and the Beast, and they actually believe that some hot chick's going to come and after you kidnap her father and then you kidnap her, you're going to fall in love with you and then break your spell of your little fragile little rose in a fucking glass fucking case. No, you're retarded at this point. You need to let go. So, I know this might sound harsh, but 12th house stuff, you kind of have to talk to people and get some sense into them. And that's what Saturn's trying to do with this new moon. But we're approaching that Sun-Saturn. So we're 10 days away from that. And this Venus is going to stop on top of Saturn after it retrogrades when it's in Pisces. 4 weeks. So you have to remember that there's a lot of like this, the universe is bringing down the gauntlet of what no longer is in your spiritual best way. It's going to pull it away. And so, I feel sad because we live in a world where people are addicted to the internet. They're addicted to the visualization of things. They're addicted to all these like dreams that aren't their own. They didn't figure it out on their own. And it's like the world is no longer supporting those. So think of it this way. The bigger dream is because the world first has to take down what's no longer working spiritually and no longer going to be able to hold up the illusion and the fraudulent energies anymore. And why would you have dreams attached into that? If you feel like you haven't accomplished what you had, then you have an issue with deep appreciation. This Mercury is in sextile to Uranus. You should already see and appreciate all the things that have already come together. This Uranus on the way to Gemini by July 7th. The outer planets are making their move. Since November on the 19th, Pluto came into Aquarius. That Neptune now in Aries coming in just the next month, March 30th. That Uranus coming into Gemini, July 7th. If you even for 1 second think that this new moon is about, I can't believe how many people I saw already post like, your wildest dreams come true. Really? More like the zit that finally popped. Like we're at the end. The stories that aren't manifested in your life that you're hoping will happen are over. So again, people might need to hear me clear. The stories that have not manifested, I'm not attacking your stories that have. The stories of the things that have not manifested, you need to let go. Because in order for us to see better ones, you got to let go fully. And it's a vulnerable place, I know, but it's the best place to be. The 12th house is about selfless service. Selfless. Okay, Virgo's about service. Well, the South Node is in Virgo. So no, you're not here to go be the little servant. You're here to be of selfless service, meaning this is not about your dreams. This is about God's dreams for you. And that's where this Venus and Aries with Chiron is a very deep wound. We're also seeing at a time the masculine and the feminine completely imbalanced. A Venus that's about to retrograde in Aries, Mars sign that rules Aries. Mars is the ruler of Aries, and Mars is in Cancer, and where the moon's at home, and the moon being the ruler is a feminine energy. The fall of Mars, the detriment of Venus. Hence, I think I could pull it up. I'm sure you saw the thumbnail coming into this. I'll pull up here in a sec. Really? Piece of crap. I should have. Everything out of order, of course, it is. Batch converted. Batch 3. There we go. Very end. There we go. I'm sure you all know I'm the astrologer that also gives you the visualization of what I see in every horoscope, whether it's a weekly or a daily or a new moon or anything. The warrior princess, and we have seen, if you just look at the world the way it is right now, I'm sorry, but men can't be women anymore. It's not going to work. Okay. And so the women have been trampled on by these men that are crazy, that think they can do women's sports, all the way to thinking that they can be women. And the same goes the other way around. The masculine that has turned into so feminine that it thinks it's going through its Uranus opposition where the hormones change when they're fucking 20. Right? Like, this is the deer in the headlights moment for the masculine and the feminine, but it's really the turning around to the divine way. And so if you're a woman out there, this is going to feel very exhausting. Men just went through the Mars retrograde. It just came direct less than a week ago. And it's not like it's going to be that great for men until it gets back into Leo and opposes Pluto and all this crazy shit. But like, we have to remember this is Cancer. So the masculine and the feminine are off. And the energies that sit between Earth have been in the great race where Mars realizes it's in third place. Earth is realizing right now Venus is about to overtake Earth from a heliocentric view. And Earth has been leading the way, and now Venus is ready to stop from our point of view. And so we have to remember that this is a very big realignment, and it's completely also a manifestation realignment of a whole new world that's beginning. I had some other examples. I had this one. You know, so like if you're getting upset at people and you're not happy with what you see, it's because you're still holding on to these fantasies that didn't come true, and then you're like projecting it on other people. This is probably the biggest projection horoscope I've ever seen in my life. Let's not forget that 9 degrees and 40 minutes of Pisces squares Antares, and it squares Aldebaran, the fixed stars. Especially if you were born, before 2000. You have that exact at the 9 degree spot, 948, 950, depends on where you were born, 952. I mean, it literally is like, you have to realize that The only way for you to align with these bigger energies in the universe is for you to get out of your own fucking delusion. Right? Like, we all have a warrior within us, but men have the 2 years before they retrograde. And the feminine has to get back to part of its feminine. The masculine has to get back to part of its masculine. That's one illusion that people in blue sky are having a fucking panic attack about with a fucking butterfly. Are you trying to make everybody a feminine on that app? Let's not forget that there's a caterpillar before a butterfly. So you have to remember that they're trying to fucking really fuck you up on that app. If you're a guy and you're like, oh yeah, I love that app, you're a fucking, I don't even know what you are at this point. This is a real check to see what's behind the curtain within your own life that you have to let go of. And it's more of like watching it happen and not trying to intervene. This Pluto in Aquarius thinks it can fix everything. Well, it's going to learn a hard lesson over the next 19 years. That everything always needs a fix. But there is no repair. Everything that has come into this new moon is, if your relationship's bad, it's bad. There's no repair. It should have already been repaired. Like everything right now that's come into your life that's not working, it's not working. Everything that's working is working. So this is about taking off the table this is where Jupiter and Gemini helps with this. The facts are, these are the things that are working. These are the facts. These are the facts of the things that are not working. So it's time for us to explore the things that are working, and not for us to continue to keep exploring. You need to have a let go of Pisces of the things that are not working. And the things that are working, you just have to surrender and keep allowing them to work. Don't try to fix something that ain't broke, and don't try to fix something that broke. This Mercury is in a really bad position. I keep, we're in a world where, especially in the astrology community, it's like essential dignities have become like fucking foreign. Like you're not allowed to talk about them much. Okay, Mercury is horrible in Pisces. It's the worst place. The last time we saw this close of energy was 2013. It beat us because of Chiron. So 2013 was literally the roughest, most extreme Pisces. But this is taking the cake because of Saturn in here with Neptune that are getting ready, and they're getting close. So Saturn's trying to get a grip on your delusions, but Neptune's like, I'm the ruler here, but it's about to go into Aries. So this Venus here that's about to retrograde in Aries too, this is with Chiron. All of your attachments to all of your egos, shiny objects that you think are going to make you feel good, the job that's going to make you feel good, the reflection in the mirror that you think you're so badass that you're going to, if you do this and you'll be that and you'll be this and you'll get that. I mean, I hate to say, but these are a lot of dreams, and it's not negative. It's just reality. God is clearing out really old shit. Dreams built on top of dreams that already were accomplished. So, we have to look at it as like, it's not like God's leaving us empty. Now, for some people, it might feel empty because, one, you didn't do the work. Two, you haven't been paying attention to the spiritual way at all, what the writing is on the wall, and you're not listening to your intuition at all. So if you feel like the universe comes through during this next, 2 to 3 weeks and wipes it all out, it's because literally you weren't paying attention at all to the universe at all. And you can't be bitter about that. This on your own karma, right? This is where not much is going to stand that's left except the most valuable, most beautiful things that are in alignment. Everything else is not there anymore. This is not a time for trying to force things. This is not a time to try and, I'm going to make it happen. It's already happening, or it's uncoupling. Period. The biggest lesson of all this is you did not, and I think this is what's hard on the planet right now. The 12th house, Pisces. I know, and other, spiritual people who have sun in the 12th house know. Your life is one, either A, and so everybody on the planet is living this on this new moon. And with all this energy with North Node and with Saturn coming together and North Node Mercury and North Node Venus that'll retrograde and North Node fucking Neptune that we've had, but people have no idea that what this is about is there's two things in Pisces or 12th house. Your whole life has to be fully selfless of service spiritually. That means it's not on the time that you want. It's on divine's time, God's time, meaning no schedule that you try to use as a human will fully work. Trust me, as a 12th houser, I know that one. 2, or you live a fully NPC unconscious life now where you're putting your needs and your desires and your fantasies of control that you're manifesting everything first. And it just never happens. It just is a constant hurdle that you keep doing, and it feels like you never get there. Well, guess what? You have a choice. And it's very simple. You are ready to come into the most magical show that you get to sit down and enjoy and watch and participate when God calls you, and it will just show up and then at the same time pull out what needs to be pulled out of your life. You don't need to intervene. This is a show we're going to watch. And it's the crazy, we are here. There is no more, okay, in another week, then when this happens, this is it. And yeah, it's going to get crazy. It's going to get messy. It's going to get wild. It's going to get beyond our comprehension. We are so backed up. We are so far beyond our understanding in the universe. Humanity never saw that we would actually get to this point. This was the blind spot. We went from, okay, the idea of cars and, we have planes in the sky to, okay, Jetsons. And we actually forgot we never saw this blind spot. That humanity has a lot of fraud and a lot of spiritual abuse and a lot of people that do not put selfless service first. A lot of people who put vanity before everything. A lot of people who put this irregular and undivine displacement of masculine and feminine energy in completely mismatched way before the way that naturally in the universe works. A lot of people who want to throw Hail Marys and think that they can throw a 130-yard touchdown pass when there's only 100 fucking yards on the field. This is where your ego is your worst enemy and your soul attachment to the fantasy that it will be that. Again, the things that have not manifested. Okay? Like everything the universe has given you at this point is to be appreciated. And that's what's going to be to keep you busy until the universe rearranges all the decks on the Titanic of this whole entire way that the reality has worked for the last 2,000 years. Right? Like, you've got those things to enjoy, and you've got plenty, trust me. You're going to watch massive things come down in the world. Massive things change. This is the biggest house of change, Pisces, mutable water. This is a tsunami coming in with a hurricane, with sensitive emotions, fragile egos, and fragile souls. And this is where, it's not about empathy as much as it is about where are you over empathizing? Where are you becoming too weak? Where you're not even paying attention to how to take care of yourself, how to make sure that you're not focused on, this shiny thing will make me feel better. This object, this thing that I can buy, this person, this, what are you doing? Personally, as an astrologer, I don't say it out loud, but I laugh inside when I hear some people in the world say, oh, I'm doing this. And even the astrology community putting out all this shit, this is the 12th house. Now, it's the most beautiful house, it's the house of mystery, but it also is because it's a house where you walk through that door and it's on reality. And not neurotic, but spiritual, meaning, okay, I am selflessly serving the divine. And that means it's not about what you want and how you want. Trust me, I wanted to be a famous DJ. And then God made me face my 12th house. I had to get off drugs. You know, so if you're on drugs or you're escaping or you're trying to escape this reality and you think there's grass greener on the other side, now you're at full stop retarded, at the most retarded you could be. Oh, there's grass greener on the other side right now. And a guaranteed it's, oh, because I'm Blue Sky, the app, or oh, because the media is telling me this, or because of that. You are full-blown NPC at this point. This is not about rainbows. This is not about sunshine and the most beautiful thing, because all of that is the fraud that this Venus that's going to station retrograde in Aries is with Chiron. It's more like realizing, oh, all of it is like a troll. I didn't realize that. Like it's not the highest vibe. Everything that's not the highest vibe, and the highest vibe is selfless service, meaning it's not about you. You already predetermined your life coming down here. And if you're still in the humdrum reality, doing what everybody else does, which you could say that you're just a copycat of another of the 8 billion, that's your biggest problem, that you did not get to this point and read the writing on the walls of all the opportunities that the universe has tried to open the door. Now, you can look at this in the positive as this new moon is a doorway, but it's not a traditional understanding of a doorway. Right? Where it's like, oh, I'm going to get all the gifts. Remember, this is a new moon square Jupiter. It's a whole week of the sun square Jupiter. It's Venus retrograding. It's literally the benefics letting you down in detriment. Okay? And what it is you literally have to see that this is a doorway that is literally one that will come to you. But before you walk through, you have to empty your pockets. You have to empty your change. You have to empty all these little things that are just extra weight. So that dream you still haven't manifested? Are you the 60-year-old that literally like, I still want to be the singer and never got it? You got to let it go. Because there's another way to do it, and then you can't see it. And until you let that version of that visual go, you won't be able to see the truth of what's there. We got to get simple. We got to clear out so much heavy, emotional, fragile, and we need to clear out the weaker parts of our soul that's crippled to like some old person, like to an oxygen machine trying to stay alive instead of maybe figure out like, why am I on this that way? Is there a better way? I know you're not going to hear a new moon horoscope like this anywhere else. I know everybody's going to say the quite opposite. And you know what? You got to ask the big question, are you being deceived? The house of deceit, the house of hidden enemies. This new moon is awakening us to a world where we have so many hidden enemies that do not fight for the light. We have so many hidden enemies that are hidden behind, that have propagated this whole world for you to not find your own true soul's mission and selfless service, but one that has buried you so far down deep into these dreams that are impossible, but give you just enough to continue to make yourself go to what's really not even a dream, it's the illusion of a dream. This is time to root it all out, to pop the zit. And also, if you're having extreme mental health issues, you need to fucking get help. Like, we're all human beings. Especially if you're awake spiritually at all, trust me. Anybody who says they're awake spiritually and there was no mental breakdown at some point, an emotional, spiritual breakdown, is fucking a liar. And all of us had to ask for help. So if you or you know somebody in extreme anxiety, you need to tell them to go get help. Because you're not going to be able to get through to figure this shit out, how to make your life better, unless you literally get help. And it's always the phobia that what you don't want to do that you have to do. So really, it's like paying attention to the stuff that keeps coming up that you don't want to do, that you know you have to do. That's the stuff you have to do, and just keep on that line, and letting go of all the candy and the pop rocks and all the shit that you think is going to make you feel better. It's just going to fucking pop in your mouth and crackle for like 2 minutes, not even, and fucking taste okay for a second. You're over it. That's Venus and Aries, especially about to retrograde. Like, ew, it's shiny. Ew, it's pop rock. Oh my God, I'm making the noise. Okay, it's done. That's what you're basing your whole life off of? The worst is going to be the people that see the grass greener on some other side. Like, oh my God, I hate my relationship, but look at this person. They're better. You are a horrible human being. Because if you're at this point in the astrology, it's you who don't want to face any of your own reflection of what you really are and what a piece of shit you are. And like literally like you didn't deal, you can't deal with the toxic shit that you're carrying. You're putting it on another person. The forgiveness here is allowing yourself to remember, do we have to forgive so much? Is it more like, and what I mean is about your own dream, like why forgive yourself for holding on to the illusion when really it was already manifested? So your biggest dream was already manifested. The bigger dream can't be seen in this fog. You got to let go of the idea that you haven't manifested the big dream yet, because you already did. We're all here as light workers waiting for the next version and the highest version of dreams we can't even possibly comprehend. And we get to sit and watch a show. This is literally intermission, watching as the world's about to go literally dump. The biggest dump it's ever done of everything that's fraudulent and everything that's a deception and everything that's full of deceit. You know what? And half the population out there, especially as we're coming in the Civil War alignment, is going to be immoral. Right? So what morals are you trying to fight for? Pfft. Chopping kids' dicks off? Or what, you want to be like a Southern Democrat and do the slavery thing again? Be like, who's going to pick your cotton? Oh, sorry, wait. Who's going to pick your strawberries? Same astrology. Who's saying that? Wake the fuck up. This is a wake up. It's not easy to wake up in this much of a fucking like hypnosis. I can't believe it. This fucking blue sky shit blew my mind. I went in there and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Everybody's like, yeah, it's like all good. It's like a beautiful place. No, it's a fucking literally the fucking Confederate state of America fucking on the internet. Kill people in the government. All this shit. And it's all these spiritual people wishing for people to die. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me right now. They should just call that app Blue Death. People wishing for people to die. I'm seeing astrologers, tarot readers wishing for people to die. This is the new moon where there is no more red alert because it's already here. You're already on the fucking ice in Antarctica. Like, what the fuck? Like a penguin. Okay, now you could try to run, but you got to waddle. You're a penguin now. And you know what? You can have fun by just going with the flow and just by, all right, this is what it is. But if you're like, no, I want this and I need to do this and where's that? And I need this and I haven't done this yet. It's like, good luck waddling on the other side of the earth. Good luck going into an echo chamber, some crazy place where you're literally with people that are spreading this falsity and this deceit of morality when it's the most immoral shit ever. Somebody being fired yeah, we need to have empathy, but this Pisces, they're baiting you with, oh my gosh, the worst thing in the world. As they're sitting there saying, but we need to defend the rights of parents that want to chop their kid's dick off, because what happens? I'm a dad. We're the ones who pick the shows and the books they read and all that shit. Do you really think the kids are confused, or do you think the parents are just fucking literally psychos, which 12th house Pisces rules psychotic, psychos who fucking are trying to actually tell themselves a crazy psychotic story? Like, my kid's confused at 5 years old. No, because you fucking told them to be confused. You preyed on them to do that shit. And so you're on a new app called Blue Sky thinking that you're undercover hiding with a little butterfly. No, this is not the transformational process. This is the cocoon that this is where, nothing can augment the butterfly as it turns into a butterfly. If you try and help a butterfly come out of a cocoon, guess what happens? It fucking dies. And my biggest worry, and I hope I'm wrong, I really do. My biggest worry is that this new moon sets the course for the most immoral people in the world to literally be calling people who are doing things that are not immoral the worst people in the world, and literally turn into the Confederacy and turn into the most immoral fucking high ground, I'm morally right people, and start leading a revolt of death to people for their crazy fucking psychotic ideas and shit that is not in alignment with God, their spirit at all, period. Literally, period. It's no coincidence that this much happening and they're going to release parts of the Epstein fucking shit. It's no coincidence the Pope and the conclave's getting ready fucking with all this Pisces and all the deception and all the weird shit in the churches. Wake the fuck up. Like, you still gonna watch those traditional astrology things that are just like, yeah, oh my God, this is great. They're baiting you into fucking buy this because you can make your dream happen. You already had your dreams. There's a bigger dream that you can't see. We're in the intermission watching and knowing that this is the transition where actually we sit back and watch. Actually, we let God pull away all the things that are not in alignment. Because that Venus retrogrades right after on this March 1st. While the moon's going to be ready to cross that. And so the ego death, the soul's, let's call it subconscious attachment death at the same time. So most people never experience an ego death and an incorrect soul attachment death at the same time. Let's call it an immoral death. But you know what's going to happen is too many people believe in the fantasy of their immoral high ground and will continue to keep to try to stay alive that immoralness. Even when they'll see people they're not, there's going to be people who don't believe the Pope dies or is maybe already dead. There's not going to be people who believe whatever comes out of this Epstein list, and whether it's even the fullest or not. I mean, you know what I mean? They're not going to believe because they're too wound up, especially if it's somebody that they had a idolization for. This is a new moon square Jupiter. This is a sun square Jupiter on the day Venus retrogrades 2 days after. This is not games. Now, spiritually light worker it is. If you understand that we're here to watch the show. That there's nothing left to go attain. Everything's already been set. Everything already in your life. You've already set everything up. And this is the nice intermission that we get to watch. And that you've let go of, I need to see this shiny thing to feel better. I need to have that to feel better. I need to have that to feel better. Like if you have not been doing the work about how to feel better and how to be in alignment, and you're just coasting into what you already have, you have to also be prepared that even if things are taken away or something falls apart, it just wasn't meant to be. I hate to say this too, but we're going to see a lot of people transition over this next week to the other side. Like this is going to be a lot of transitions, a lot of souls leaving. There's also going to be over this next week, a massive public figure that falls, but another one that falls from a suicide. This is also suicide. So if you're thinking about that, you need to seek help right away. And if I could help you through that, number one, there's no reason to leave here. And number two, you're probably trying to leave here because of some shiny object that you don't have or you think you can have. And that's a pretty weak way to want to leave this planet over something like that. This is not about building up courage. This is about building up faith and surrender, and that you don't have to do anything except watch God pull away what's happening. Right? If you're in a bad relationship, that partner will fucking already expose themselves and you don't even have to do much. They'll just fucking do the crazy thing and you'll be like, all right, they were crazy. The job that is doing bad shit, they'll go out of business and there'll be a way. God will support you in some way and figure it out. And you could just ride this wave to where it takes you next. Whatever you're worried about, there's nothing to worry about. This is also the new moon of writing on the wall to hysteria. The world's about to be hysterical. And I'm going to laugh hysterically, but if you can't laugh because people are so lost and think that that's immoral, it's actually the immoral thing of the things that people do to try and hold up a world of fraudulent shit in a fake world that they actually believe is going to stay the same. I mean, it's really intense to see this world attached to, crazy fucking ideologies and crazy belief systems that they're turning into their own religions and actually looking like it. So we're watching the biggest cult ever be born of all time. Plus, this is also where religions are going to go hysterical the other way too, and thinking that their prophecy has returned and that's all happening when it's not. Welcome to what you came here for, to watch this front row seat. It's never going to go back to the way it was ever again. So anything that you want to have back in your past or you wish you had another chance, even if it does come back, it's to say goodbye to it. It's not to have it and bring it with you. Over. Remember the good things that will come in the months ahead. And yes, I said months because we're not going to even understand what the new looks like for months. And anybody that wants to debate me astrologically on this, have at it. Hit me up. Because this is the end of the line. This is us realizing we are a month away from a civil war fucking transit. We are months away from every fucking major war this country's ever gone through. The Revolutionary War, Civil War, and World War II. And you can't look at it because it's this person that did it, and it's that person and it's that person in office, and it was that person who was in office last time, and no. It's all happening as it was supposed to. It's a movie. Wake up, it's a movie. Don't get involved in this bullshit holy war shit that's going to start coming up. This is light work, and light work is here to assist. But the assistance we're doing right now in the selfless service is letting God clear out a bunch of shit so we can do that light work. If you're a light worker, you already can feel that, you know, it's pretty much continuing what we always do and knowing that there's a long moment here where a lot of shit's clearing itself out. This is a cleanse. And a responsibility with North Node and Saturn getting closer, right? This North Node Saturn is saying, hey, remember last time we had North Node Saturn was what? 2013 and 2014? That's right. I forgot. At the same time that we had all that Pisces and the Jupiter Gemini, that North Node Saturn started getting close. Oh, yeah. North Node Saturn does not come around a lot. Stop going for this epic, crazy, like hijacked, fake, transmitted, holographically bullshitted Palladian channel that's not coming from the Palladians right now. Anybody saying they're channeling that shit is not. They're keeping their money system going. The fucking fraud channelers have exposed themselves over the last months. Been very easy to see. They were just kowtowing whatever the fucking mass fucking NPC crowd wanted to hear. And turn off the fucking media for a month and see how much better your life is going to be. Just fucking let it go. They are going to try and bait you from every side right now. And it's to fucking set this whole world up for what's coming. Because they've all known the whole time. They're going to gut everything. They don't have the money. They have technology now. And it was all known by all sides. The astrology predicted this a long time ago. I don't care who the figureheads are because it's exactly what, it's very easy to see. It was very easy to see. So get off your fucking blue sky, get off fucking your only on X thing, and fucking meet all of us as spiritual in the ether right now, and let's fucking let all the bullshit, let's see through the deception, let's see through the Wizard of Oz, and you can't identify who it is. It's all of the fucking movie. I'm going to leave it there. But I don't think people are ready. People are still too attached to vanity and what they got to accomplish and look like, right? Ozempic's not going to save your life. Like, every little fear tactic in the media. Oh my God, the measles outbreak. Like, oh, shut the fuck up. You know how many measles outbreaks there's been with 100 people and stuff that they just never pushed fucking until after this whole bullshit 2020 shit? Wake the fuck up. Like, I don't know. Like, I have compassion, but at the same time, this is what Saturn's like, okay, the compassion's gone too far. Right? Like, people are so like, oh my God, if people don't get US aid money, they're going to die. Are you kidding? You really think people are going to die? Wherever they are, we don't even know. Guaranteed there's food around their corner. We live on planet Earth. You really think these people, wherever USAID is, there's no food, period? None? Or the aid that used to come, there wasn't a fucking can of something somebody saved somewhere? Don't fall for all the shit. I'm telling you, people are being fucking swayed so hard right now. And they are laughing it up everywhere. Both sides. All sides of the universe right now that are not of the light are literally laughing and stealing all of your energy right now. The age of deception is at peak. If you're following your life fully by that and losing yourself into it, like to think that you don't hear the opposite side fighting hard except through the media, and you don't see figures because they're all in on it. They all knew. They all don't have the money. There's no more money. It's the illusion that there's money. There's no money. That's why gold's high. Bitcoin is not going to save the day. I think the hardest thing I have to tell people is everybody that believes in the Q thing and it's going to save the day. This is where this Pisces thing blows your fucking lid off of like, you have just been deceived. You invested all your money in some fucking crypto and oh my God, look at every meme coin going, oh yeah, it's going to be this. And then it fucking goes down to nothing. Imagine what's happening right now. So many people, doesn't matter what side you are. Oh my God, I thought the world was all about being trans, fucking my kid. No, it's not. Oh my God, it's about Q. It's going to change the whole world. We're going to wake up. Nope, it's not. They all knew the whole time why all these systems were coming down in Pluto and Capricorn. I've been trying to say this for fucking ever. Yeah, and we're right here. How was I able to predict that? Yeah, in 2024, I just put it up. It's all over. I put it on every social media. And I'm going through the archives right now of all my predictions. Just like in 2020, I'm like, no, you know, it's not this election, but 2024, it'll be fucking whoever loses, it'll be the end of that party. And I said, it's going to be the Democrats, most likely, based off the astrology. And that's what's happened. You see them just all faltering. And you even see now CNN, Jake Tapper writing a book. Look at the betrayal of Joe Biden after he was screaming at people saying, oh, we all know, whoever the fuck that character was, we all knew it was fucking weird. Okay, so don't act like you're like the fucking Wizard of Oz that figured out what's behind the curtain when you were part of that fucking curtain. Right? You see that on the other side too. It's just like, oh, now you're cool with this, or now you're down. Yeah, right. They all knew that there's no money, and that means they need to take away jobs. And I've said this since I know people hate me. I've said, you really think Social Security is going to stay around? Do you really think we don't have the fucking money? And guess what? You placed all your bets on, well, the government it'll provide my Medicare. It'll provide this. It'll provide that. It's not. Wake up. And the left knew it and the right knew it. It's not about battling those sides anymore. The immoral things are what we have to battle. The slavery ideas, who's going to pick your cotton? I mean, sorry, your strawberries. If they're saying that, they're treating the illegals like slaves. Low labor, treat them like shit, put them in the same idea, a Ramada Inn, same as the sweat house and fucking back in the South in the fucking slave days, and fucking tell you that it's morally good and you need to be morally accepting of this shit. Fuck that shit. Nobody's falling for the slavery bullshit again. Nobody's gonna do that shit no more as you're fucking trafficking these kids and you're doing all that shit. It's crazy. We live in a world where literally it's fucking crazy. And for you to just think that, nope, it's not, and up, nope, and up, like get off your fuck. And the worst is the blue sky people and the people that are literally, I hate to say it, it's more on the left, but the right also has its fucking major problems right now too. And lost in the religious cult ideas and lost in fucking this, like, this person will save the world. And that this crazy people that you don't know, that everybody says they know, or they know somebody who knows the answer to the fucking secret. Both sides are fucking lost their minds. So wake the fuck up. We're all in the movie. Watch the movie and laugh and let it all happen and let things slide down the hill. Stop trying to go fight a fight that isn't even a fight. They want you to fight an illusion. It's fucking, But I dare the other astrologers to say shit like this. They won't. I don't want to lose my business. You know what? I haven't lost my business by speaking truth the whole fucking time. So, you know what? That's why it's called High Vibe TV, because High Vibe is just always speaking truth. But you know what? Call yourself the astrology this or the astrology that. I don't give a fuck, because that ain't astrology. You don't have a fucking speck of knowledge you're giving people of what the astrology is doing, except ego, what it does for your own chart. It's disgusting. It's sad. It's like fucking sad. But they're all shot up to fucking kingdom come. So who's even knowing who's even there anymore, if they're even there anymore? There's a fucking shell. Queen of Pentacles. I pulled out the fucking badass tarot for this. You already have everything, like I said. You really have already manifested all you need right now. There is no shiny object that you need. You already have everything. All the abundance of what you need is here. So stop looking for where's the shiny thing that's going to come to make me feel better. You need to already know you have everything now that's ready for you. And we got the sun card. The best disinfectant in life is the sun. And this is this moment of truly being in the essence of your soul. That's not connected to what you have that you have to have. You already have it. These two cards together are the physical manifestation of your soul and its true self, and just the radiance that it is not just enough, it's everything. Everything else is the illusion that is the lie that is causing the health crisis of the world, the mental health crisis of the world, the illusional crisis of the world, the psychotic part of the world. Every part of the world that's crazy is because everybody's expecting more. And we really want to find out what else is out there when you're fucking so obsessed with the new fucking toy that everybody's had and just a new version of it. The new treatment. Oh, and by the way, with Venus retrograding, don't even dare try to do any vanity shit. If girls, you get lips done or something like that, do not do it. This is a bad time. The bad time for any cosmetic kind of thing. It's a bad time to change your hair color. And don't listen to anybody that says it is a good time. It's a bad time. It's Venus in Aries. That means your ego's desperate to try and find some, I want people to see me more. Oh, well, those lips are so big, fucking, you can't even talk anymore. We're going to have to get a straw for you to talk. Or, geez, as a dude, you really think fucking whatever the fuck, another shot of Ozempic is going to make you feel better and look better? Like, are you fucking kidding me? And you going to get a facelift, bro? Like, what are you doing? I'm telling you, you know how you're going to tell who's twacked the fuck out spiritually? People doing crazy shit to try and feel better and look better. Because they don't believe they already have it within them. I appreciate you all. I will see you later. I'll see you on High Vibe. I know, I came pretty hot on this one, but you know what? As a 12th house sun and as a light worker, and also, I got to call out the bullshit that's happening in the channeling community and all this crazy shit. They just keep saying lies and just clickbait and the next new thing. That's not how channeling works. there is not one person, and the way you get to some galactic federation and shit like that. Like, I'm sorry, like the real Palladians, we all know that do this work. Like this shit uses astrology. It's been said, it was channeled that way all the way back in the day. The true bringer of the dawn, the true understanding is the astrology and how to get there. And any Palladian channel that's saying that they connect all that and they don't even understand the astrology at all, and they kind of talk about it on the side, they're fucking a shill. And this is the time where we're going to get our big downloads, but they're not to be fully integrated into right now. This is let's watch this all go down to understand the flow of where we get placed and where the things fall down that we know where we go. And so anybody that's going to, trust me, you're going to hear with this Mercury coming into shadow and going to retrograde with this Venus retrograde, and with Neptune coming to the end of Pisces and ready to go into Aries, and with Saturn and the North Node coming together, the most retarded shit you've ever heard in your life of crazy, neurotic fucking, this is what I'm channeling. No, your tarot reader is not telling you everything if you're following it just through tarot. You got to have tarot's confirmation from a divine source, like astrology. That's the only thing that actually is perfect and it's always predictable, even in the foggiest of times. No, stop looking for your ex coming back, or stop to get off all these attachments to things that are from the past. I wish you the best, whether you're on high vibe or not, or you just come in to check in, whatever. I don't give a fuck. I just care about your happiness, however that is. And remember that, because really the end of this message is you should already just have everything, and it should just be flowing, and that's it. That's all you got to do. If things leave, it wasn't meant to be. It's part of destiny. It's part of the way things are, and having that understanding and that compassion for God, and not being mad about something, because the more attached you are, the more it's gonna fucking pull at you. There's a natural spiritual higher love, and if you're not in that space, or it's not in that space, whatever's in your life, it's not gonna last. Adios.
Yeah. Okay.